So the Yankees sweep the Texas Rangers with a 1-0 win. Carlos Rodon, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. ZRA is down to 2.88. Mark Ladder Jr. came in to another clean inning. Well, 2 hits and 2 strikeouts, but no runs. Devin Williams, perfect inning, 11 pitches, 1 strikeout. And Luke Weaver came in, 7 save. Third game in a row he pitched. He threw 10 pitches today. He threw 6 yesterday, threw 2 the day before. So 18 pitches in 3 days. So, and the offense, Yorbit Vivas with a home run. That's it. It's 1-0. It's on the offense. So, Trent Grisham was 1 for 4. Aaron Judge over 3. He's under the 400 threshold now. Batting paltry 396. Cody Bellinger over 4. Paul Goldschmidt 1 for 4, batting 337. Jason Dominguez over 3. Anthony Volpe 1 for 3. JC Escaro for 3. Yorbit Vivas 1 for 1 with the home run. DJ LeMahieu came in, was 0 for 1. And Oswald Peraza 1 for 3. And that's it. Yankees had 5 hits. And nothing else. So, and this is a very, very easy game. 1-0 win. Now the Yankees can go to Colorado, travel, before they embark on their, 9 or 10 game West Coast trip now. And they were able to get the win in today. They were able to get the game in, so there's no need to have a double header later on in the season. There's no need for anything. And if you didn't hear, I put out earlier, Brent Hedrick, lefty reliever, was called up, and as the corresponding roster move, Fernando Cruz was placed on the 15-day IL with right shoulder inflammation. It's retroactive to the 19th of the month. So that's the corresponding roster move. And hit the like button, everybody, by the way. Celebrate. This is a sweep. This is Yankees are playing good baseball right now. That is their, I think it's the 30th win of the season. Is that what we're going to 30-19? I think it should have been factored in already into the stats. Now it should be their 30th win. And Yankees are in first place. They're up by 5 games on the Blue Jays now, who has taken over second place over the Red Sox. And depending on what happens today, we'll see if that standing stays. Sports talk. Transparency. John, Ray, what's up, chat? What's going on, everybody? Daniel Barry. Who else we got here? Jonathan's in the place. Joe, DM, the crew, Michael Dirth. New Zealand is in the house. Shout out to New Zealand, man. The other side of the world. Love it. I'd love to visit New Zealand. Looks so beautiful. And yeah, the Knicks choked last night. Yes, they did. Oh, well. Time to come back and tie the series if on the Knicks, but that was a disappointing loss last night. Peanut. What's going on? What is going on, everybody? Yeah, but if you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do to celebrate this win. It would be a good series. This is an opportunity for the Yankees to really erupt offensively. And then they get the Angels for 3, and then they get the Dodgers for 3. So, all those teams are vulnerable. The Angels have been playing over their standing recently, so they've been playing better recently. The Dodgers have not been. The Dodgers are also suffering one of the things they've suffered recently, which is a lot of guys in the IL. Right? Hey, buddy. Manuel's in the building. Top 5, what, active or all-time, SG? Dean, second New Zealand. All right. Love it. Love having New Zealand up in here. Fantastic. Oh man. Do I think? I think the Phillies. I mean, Phillies are positioned to sign him, especially with Alvarado getting an 80-game suspension. It makes sense for them to do that. There are also some guys that they could trade for as well. You know, and they may even like recently. I would say Ian Hamilton might become vulnerable for the Yankees. There's even a chance that Tim Hill might become available for the Yankees. For teams, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The pitching's been fantastic, that brother Bill. Current, I would say, Judge, Weaver, Max Fried, Paul Goldschmidt, and probably number 5 is a toss-up. I think number 5 is a toss-up. But I would probably give it to I don't know, number 5. That's a good question. I got to think about that. Devin Williams, too, has been much better recently as a setup guy. I would add him to the list, too. Transparency is slowly but surely getting there. Not 100% yet. Beagle. All time, I'd say Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle. Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle. White, Ford, Mariano Rivera. Something like that. I want to add some arms in there. Starter and a reliever. I mean, you could easily do all bats, but I'd like to do both. The Clippers. See, that's the other thing, too. Like, Jeter's like, so that's the problem is I personally, I wanted to add a starter and a reliever to the bats. But it's easy to put Jeter in there. It's easy to put DiMaggio in there. But then I'd be leaving out Rivera, be leaving out, a starting pitcher. And I personally like to have a balanced thing on my list. So here's the Flash. What's good, bro? Gaskets. And we do, Buckeye. We do have a pitching staff. And this is team, and they're showing their ability to win high-scoring games, low-scoring games. Pettit, Rocket, yeah. And I generally try to bring. I try to do like in my list. I try to have the Yankees that are been there the whole time, like Rivera, Ruth for the most part, Gehrig, Mantle, Whitey's been there the whole time. I mean, you could have Jeter to that. You could add, Sandman, obviously, the whole time. You could add Clipper to that. You can add, if I'm, Mike Mussina, I could add to that. He was an all-timer for Yankees, man. He was a great Yankee, Mike Mussina. Your all-time San Francisco Giants are not Bonds. Bonds is not in that sports talk. Interesting. This is a better team than mine. And yeah, Craig Nettles. That's why 5 is hard to. Like, you almost have to do 10 for Yankees. It is. Yeah, you're right about 2. It is the kind of game that Clay Holmes would have probably blown. Yeah. You saying it wasn't Orioles, but he had a 9-year tenure with the Yankees, which makes him good enough being. He had a wonderful tenure with the Yankees. Would I consider starting Hedrick against the Rockies on arm free? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do. I saw that. Rest in peace, Irsay. Yeah. Jim Irsay. Well, exactly, too, CeeLo. All-time Yankee greats. You almost have to put forth a whole roster because there's so many of them, right? And Rodon, yeah, man. 80 Ks. And that was a good matchup too. Like Nate Eovaldi was good too. You know, I mean, you've seen his last, yeah. He won 20 games his final year as a pro. 20 games as a final pro. It's just like, offensively, Ted Williams hit a home run in his last at bat as a pro. Like, it's pretty awesome. Well, exactly, too, on the scores of Bernie Williams. And that's why, like, I don't like the core four. I think it should be a core five, and he should be the fifth of that on that 5-man list. Because he was more prolific than a lot of these guys, especially in the postseason. So, all prayers to your sister, transparency, man, for a speedy recovery. Hopefully she gets better. So, yeah. I did see, rest in peace, Norm Peterson from Cheers. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah. We might have to do an all-time again, Buckeye, with the Cards. Yeah, Ken. I mean, Valdi was a beast. Rodon was a beast, too. I mean, we had a very efficiently pitched game by this team in chilly weather against a pretty good offense, too, which we were able to shut down for the most part this series, which is not always an easy thing to do. And we'll see what happens with the Rockies. I'm not going to sleep on the Rockies, too, just because they suck right now. Because we've had trouble playing against the crappy teams. Even the 98 Yankees, they had trouble beating teams like the Royals, who lost 100 games. Right? So, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Brother Bill. I'm kind of concerned, too, Judge dipping below 400, man. You might have to option him out. You might have to DFA him. Or send him down a little bit. Yeah, it's true. Rodon, this is what we need, right, from Rodon. Getting it from him, getting it from Warren now, we're getting it from Fried, and putting together the fourth and fifth guy in this rotation to make it pretty formidable. Yeah, and this is a team. This is a good team, quietly good team. They didn't need to have that flashy offseason. They didn't have to buy or sign every expensive player. Doesn't guarantee anything. The Rockies can hit. Yeah. I feel bad for Chris Bryant, though. He would have been yeah. Do you think so, Jonathan? I hope so. I hope he tees off in Colorado. It's like I hope Bellinger and like some of these other guys tee off. Austin Wells, and maybe it helps springboard a couple of the bats. Right? Well, exactly, too, Bret Hart. Yeah, spread that money around instead of giving 2, duffel bags full to one guy. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, Sports Talk. I appreciate you, man. You keep up the good work, too, my man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Schmidt. Yeah, I mean, he throws hittable pitches, but then in some cases they're really hard to hit, but some cases they induce a lot of ground balls. Like Max Fried induced a lot of ground balls. So I'm really curious to see what the pitching matchups are going to look like in Colorado. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Buckeye, he's going to hit these things to the Rocky Mountains. He's going to hit in the Boulder, Colorado. Yep. Imagine a 600-foot home run. Like, my goodness. I still remember that home run that Mark McGwire hit off Randy Johnson. That one game. It was like 580 feet of some ridiculous number. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but holy Christ. One of the furthest home runs I've ever seen hit. And this was in a dome. I've seen Cecil Field hit one out of the Detroit Tiger Stadium over the whole roof and just out of the whole thing. I've seen that. He's also known for hitting tape measure home runs. But so is Mark McGwire, man. And you hit him off Randy Johnson, man. You got a hold of that bad boy. So I'm telling you, Blank, yeah, the Rockies are 841, but these are the teams that always give the Yankees fits. We'll see if the Yankees can. I'm wondering how they're going to do against the Angels and the Dodgers, too. So, you know what I mean? I appreciate it, Sports. I will, man. I definitely will, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right, too. Chris Bryant could have stayed in San Francisco. But, had he stayed in San Francisco and he also got hurt, That would have sucked. But I could see Colorado, or at least from an offensive standpoint, as a location to potentially resurrect that bat because he had an elite bat. And unfortunately, it just didn't pan out. The Yankees are definitely going to pack in the stadium. The Rockies, that's for sure, Jonathan, right? Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a fan with that, Robert. I mean, in the Olympics, because during the heat of the summer, like, what happens if the players get hurt and then they can't be used for the playoffs because of the Olympics? Like, I I'm not sure how I feel about this Summer Olympics space, at least Major League Baseball players. Minor leaguers, guys like that, maybe, but major leaguers, I would be worried about that. So, yeah. You think so, Graham? And yeah. And Schlittler, I mean, you never know. Like, they could, like, you essentially could, like, you could call up Schlittler, pitch Hedrick. You could pitch, like, almost an entire minor league rotation against the Rockies, or you could throw Fried and Schmidt and someone else. I don't know what the hell the outcome's going to be. Cousins nice, Jonathan, and if he's going to be there from the strike zone with a couple of fans, so Olympics should be caught. Yeah, dude. Could you imagine like the LSU players and give those guys an opportunity? Like the major league players, I'm not sure they would do it. I'm not sure. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, it's unfortunately. I thought originally he was going to be eligible to the postseason, but he cannot come back to the playoffs either. Jose Alvarado. The 80 games was within the season, but they're also included like he can come back in later on in the season, but he can't. He's not eligible for the playoffs, which is crazy. Deron, what's happening, man? Yeah, yeah. It's. I don't know how. I don't know the solve, Graham. I don't know the workaround for that. It's just like the World Baseball Classic. It's right before the season starts, so it's. I worry about players getting injured during the World Baseball Classic. Major League Baseball players, American Major League Baseball players. It's just it's a risk that people take. But I mean, I'm sure the Olympics are going to be adding flag football. I think they're going to be adding some other stuff too. And the Olympics are going to be in LA, so in America, so it should be kind of cool. And I'm definitely going to try to make it to at least some of the track and field events. Yeah, baby. Bump Ranger Suarez back there. They might. I mean, they have what's his name? Jordan Romano too. That they signed off the Blue Jays, so they've got that too, right? So they got him, but they still can use another arm. David Robinson was good. And I'm surprised he's not signed. I'm surprised JD Martinez still isn't signed. Right? Appreciate that, Sports Talk, man. Thank you, man. Really, from automotive repairs, dude. I hear that. I had my Volvo XC90 and like one of the things in the digital mainframe was like acting crazy. So one thing acts crazy, like 8 things act crazy. They had my car for 9 days. 9 freaking days. No, I just got it back yesterday, which is crazy. I don't know. I don't know who the answer is, Prince Transparency, but they seem to be doing enough right now until the Yankees figure out what they want to do. So I could see either one of those guys getting moved on from. The Murderers Row. I mean, the Rangers are deceptively a good team, right? And we could have gotten swept by them, just like we could get swept by the Rockies for all we know. We just don't know. Just hopefully the Yankees will continue to play well, right, and continue to do the things that they're doing, like they won today. So with the exception of the home run, it was small ball, and just good fundamental baseball, getting the outs, making the plays, right? Bellinger, some good defense in the outfield. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing too, Graham. Yeah, how long does it take the Graham for D-Rod to get the speed? JD Martinez him to speed, because you're right, because they need to ramp up here. They're going to need their own spring training. Do you want to give them spring training in July or August? Like, kind of crazy. But you would be getting them on a prorated contract. That's for sure. You don't need to spend $10 million on one of these guys now. Yeah, but that's true. Yeah, you're right about that, man. They do need a ramp up period. And my guess is the teams would give them a shortened ramp up period and expect them to shake it, Petruzzi. What's up, brother? And expect them to just be up and running. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, we beat some guys, man. DeGrom, right? And we beat the bullpen, I should say. Huh? Beat Evaldi. So and Corbin. So pretty good series, the Yankees. Pretty darn good series. I was hoping they'd get 2 out of 3, but they swept these guys. So and 1-0 win. A 1-0 win is a damn good win, Deron. Damn good run. And it's nice to see our starting pitching hold it down. It really is. Mm-hmm. First, this is Jorge Vivas' first major league home run. So, yeah, he popped this cherry. That's it. That's it, baby. Giants lost. The Royals, man. The Royals are deceptively good too. Now let's round robin this. Let's go around the horn here. Let's pull this up. Scores so far today. Right? The Blue Jays are up 4-2 on the Padres right now in the 8th. The Phillies and Rockies, no score in the 2nd. And then a bunch of games haven't started yet. Angels, A's, Guardians, Tigers, Pirates, Brewers, Nationals, Braves. They were postponed yesterday. And Astros, Mariners. And then our game, and then Orioles, Red Sox postponed. So, and that's pretty much it for today. That is pretty much it. So, and Yankees do play tomorrow night. So, according to this, Clark Schmidt versus Chase Dollander, who's 2-5 with a 6.28 ERA. Schmidt is 1-1, 4.41. So that's the pitching matchup for tomorrow. I'm not surprised, Mike, but you can't. Unfortunately, they don't allow players and coaches to argue balls and strikes and stuff. So you can't argue with them on almost anything, which is ridiculous. But maybe that the Red Sox need to see a little bit of that fiery emotion by some of the players, because they're looking underwhelming right now. And like, what could help them is, maybe Rafael Devers saying, I'd be willing to move to first. Like, maybe that would have helped them. Yeah, we got 2 guys here right now that are putting forth some serious frontline numbers. Max Fried and Carlos Rodon, both lefties. Oh, fantastic. Well, you'd think so, Wink, right? You'd think so. Yeah. Well, Duran, yeah, I mean, it's they got to stop penalizing teams that compete and invest in their product, right? And stop rewarding teams that pocket revenue sharing money. The Yankees gave 130 plus million last year in revenue sharing to teams like the Pirates, who pocketed the money. Like, they have money. They can afford to sign Paul Skeens. They can. Which is ridiculous. So it's just, I still think the Red Sox are going to wind up finishing second in the division, but crazier things can happen as long as the Yankees finish first. Yeah, exactly. The Olympics for amateurs. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Like, the NBA is different. I mean, they're in the off season, right? So yeah, 136 million revenue sharing. Ken, thank you. That's how much they paid out of their profits for teams. Just nuts. I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. Kyle Schwarber will be a free agent, but we're hearing that maybe the Braves are going to go after him. I'm like, where would he play? On the Yankees. That's what position would he play? Right. That's my guess. But I think he will be eligible for a pretty big contract. Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, Deron. I don't know where we play him. 7 Yankee homers for the upcoming season. I'll take that, JT. I'll take that. 7 for the entire series. I'm gonna go probably over. I don't know by how much, but in the Yankees probably more than 7, but less than 10. More than 7, but less than 10. That's my guess. It's a 3-game series, right? Yeah. Oh. We'll see if the Giants win. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Giants should be playing better. They should be playing better. Well, yeah, I mean, they're not going to trade Skeens anytime soon. No. He's got 4 more years on the cheap after this year. So that, and the fans would burn the stadium down if they trade him. Like, right? Judge will hit 4. Oh, I like that Buckeye. Skeens, I mean, I like that. He's a great pitcher. Great pitcher, but the Pirates have made it clear they're not moving him this year. I don't know why all these clickbait videos keep putting out, all this stuff. They'll be done, Hello, Tiffany. How are you? It was a fantastic win. Fantastic win. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, some of these articles. And then they had a trade proposal by Adam Weinberg from Sporting News, but there's a trade proposal for Rafael Devers. Let's give up Luis Hill and Ben Hess and George Lombard Jr. for 8 remaining years of Rafael Devers, half of which will be in his decline years. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that makes sense, and more on top of that, like 5 or 6 players. So, like, come on. Well, that's the thing too. Like, you want Skeens, like you're gonna have to give up 2 big serious prospects. Like the Boston Red Sox are in a good position for him. Team like the Cubs are. Those guys, I mean, teams that are in the top 5 farms, like Roman Anthony's like the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, or number 2 prospect in all of baseball. He's in Boston Red Sox, and they can't even make room for the guy on their roster. So, Schwarber, yeah, and he's like their leadoff hitter most of the time. Well, that's the thing, Graham. Exactly. The Bucks got to figure out what they want to do, man. That's why they're going to keep guys like Polsky, and they're going to suck, and then they'll get more high draft picks, and then lose these high draft picks in free agency. So, just the way it's going to be for the Pirates for a foreseeable future, right? Unfortunately, Skeens for can you imagine that? It's going to cost a hell of a lot more than that. Yeah. If a player is ejected, the call should automatically be reviewed. If the player is right, he gets to stay in the game. And the ump, oh God, yeah. The ump is ejected. Well, the umpire is generally not the one that initiates the argument, the player. So I can't see the baseball ever agreeing to that one. Yeah, exactly, Buckeye. Yeah. Hill, Jones, Hess, Lombard, Cunningham. Yeah, probably. That's what it probably will cost. And at that point, is it worth it? You just wait until he's a free agent later on. What's he going to be, 27, 26? So he's going to be the next big pitching free agent. If he continues to pitch his way, he's going to be in line for a monster contract. A monster contract. Tiffany Hill's supposed to get, well, the timeline is supposed to be late June, early July. That's where on him and Stanton. But Stanton, I think Stanton, when he starts his rehab, he's probably going to start it in Double-A. So he might be closer to returning upon rehab than Hill is. And then we got Jazz is about 2 weeks away, and then we got a bunch of relievers coming back too. So I'm really curious. And I think the two most at this point vulnerable guys are probably Ian Hamilton and maybe Tim Hill. And if Brent Hedrick can pitch as well while he's up here, that might add to the vulnerability of Tim Hill. That was a good deal for Crochet and the Boston Red Sox, I think. Smart deal for them. Oh, exactly, Grant. Yeah. But I think there needs to be retraining for the umps because they make some bad calls too, and you shouldn't be thrown out by questioning a bad call, especially if it's a pretty obvious that it's a bad call. I don't think that's fair for the players to be ejected. Yeah. 170 for 6. Is that what he got? Yeah. Judges, I think he could still hit probably 350, 360 this year. And that would be a monster year for him. An absolutely monster year. Yeah. Judges. Yeah. Yeah. And Judge is pretty mild mannered, right? He doesn't really question stuff and argue with umps, but sometimes it's justified in that regard. And that it's usually a pretty bad call if he's arguing with the ump. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Judge goes on a tear in October. That would be fantastic. Well, exactly right now, we don't really know what the needs are. Like if I don't know what they're going to go after the deadline. And we still have 2 months until the deadline anyway. So we don't know what the roster is going to look like and who's going to be playing well, who's not going to be playing well. We might have different needs then. So, yeah. But I could see them adding. Actually, I don't know because they have so many relievers coming back. They might not even add a reliever at the trade deadline. I don't know what they're going to do. I saw that. The Niners and Brock Purdy, and yeah, about 160, 170 if it's guaranteed. So it's a big deal for Purdy. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. They had to lock up their quarterback. They had to. Quarterbacks are getting big paper now. They're getting big paper. Mm-hmm. Fan Gaboon. Yeah, I remember that. It was a fan Gaboon. I can. Yeah, that one was so was so blatant. That was ridiculous. I remember that. Yeah. Like, the Niners good enough to make a deep run? I don't know. Not sure. I'm more interested to see what my Jets do. If we're going to be good enough to win more games than last year. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. Ridiculous that that was just a completely blatant, unprofessional performance by the ump. Mm-hmm. They want to hold on to him because he's a franchise player. There's no need for them to trade him. There's no need for it. He puts fans in the seats, and he's on the cheap. So you generally don't trade. Um, generally don't trade players like that, especially this early. Whoa, Bills. Bills are good, man. Bills are good. Josh Allen, yeah, they're good, man. AFC East is a tough, man. Bills, Ravens, it's a tough division. It really is a tough division. Maybe even like the Dolphins. Yeah, Boone he does get his fair share of rejections. He definitely does. He does. But it's good. I like to see him stand up for his players. It's meaningful, you know, and it's good to see, especially calling up bull crap calls. But nevertheless, blame me, Ilmatic. Most of the people that I know don't hate the Jets. They pity them. So, like, I know Eagles fans and Giants fans, different story. Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, Giants fans, like different story, right? So, but the Jets fans, the Jets need. I mean, we need a good season for the Jets, man. Yeah, Rodgers. I think of Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is crazy. I didn't want him on the Jets, so I didn't want Aaron Rodgers on the Jets. I think they should have probably kept. Like, I'm glad we got Justin Fields, Jets. I think that Justin Fields would be quietly good for the Jets. Yeah, Cowgirls. Giants Jets. Oh, could you imagine that? NFL Subway Series. Oh boy. Oh. Oh yeah. DirecTV. I used to have DirecTV, man. And then wind and rain is we jack up the satellites all the time. Yeah. Cowboy fan. Yeah, there's Cowboy fans everywhere. My cousin's a Cowboys fan. He's in New York, Staten Island, New York. And his brother is a Niners fan. So, and the Niners fan is also an A's fan. The Cowboy fans is a St. Louis Cardinals fan. So. So. Football season slowly coming. We'll see the training camps. We'll see all that stuff soon. So pushing Suarez to the Yankees. I don't really throw on like in exchange for who? Like who are they giving up for Eugenio Suarez? The Sporting News. Like who in this particular scenario, Don, who are they? Yeah, Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman. Who do they have the Yankees giving up for Suarez? Yep. Yeah. Seahawks, they brought in who they bring in? Sam Darnold, right? Is their quarterback? Big time at the family barbecue, Jonathan. Fights and everything, man. I'm hearing that it's inevitable Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, but we'll see. They're just saying Suarez to the Yankees. Of course they are. Just like the other day, they peddled Rafael Devers to the Yankees. Just guys, I mean, whatever. Well, the Jets and Giants need to stop playing in New Jersey. So, yeah, MetLife is nice, but it is a nightmare to get in and out of there traffic wise. Games. And last time I said went to the game there, it was Jets Giants. It was several years ago, but I sat in the 30-yard line in the second row. My uncle was a huge Giants fan, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano, sat right in front of us. He's a huge Jets fan. He was a huge Jets fan before he passed away. Yeah, I just don't see the logic for them trading away one of their big bats. Doesn't make any sense. So, American Dream Mall. Anybody? Yeah, Suarez is a free agent. It just doesn't make any sense for Suarez. Like, Corbin Carroll's having a big season too, and they added Corbin Burns there. Like, I don't. The Dodgers could be vulnerable, man. I can't see. I could see the Diamondbacks adding and not trading away one of their bigger offensive players. It doesn't make sense. Like, these trade proposals from Sporting News, like, are these folks baseball fans? Are they like cricket fans or curling fans? Like, who's putting forth these trade proposals? It's crazy. Doesn't make much sense at all. But American Dream Mall, I don't know where that is. I've been to the Mall of America in Minnesota, but not American Dream Mall. Yeah, the Dodgers have a whole rotation on the freaking IL. They do. They do. Nice. Nice sports talk. 15 on the IL. That's freaking nuts, Deron. Yeah, he is 33. It's just, we already have an older guy, DJ, at third base. Like, we don't need another one. We just don't. We don't. And Nolan Arenado is another older guy. And he's 34. So, American Dream, I've not been there. I've not been there. No. Okay. Diamondbacks make a trade. Yeah, I would agree too, Ken. The Diamondbacks make a trade. It's going to be to add to their major league, necessity pool. So, what are they? We don't know the Yankees' needs yet. It's still too early. It's still too early to see what the deadline needs are. It's still 2.5 months to wait to the deadline. So, a little less than 2.5 months. Yep. Cashman made the right move, man, with Paul Goldschmidt at first base. He did. And that's the question too, Matic. What starting pitchers are going to be available at the deadline? We don't know yet. With the expanded playoffs, it's tougher to make trades because teams are going to hold on to their players. So, and the price is just going to go up higher for players that you want to acquire at the deadline. So we don't know what's it going to be. Zach Gallen, but why would the Diamondbacks trade him? Right? That's the key. Why would they trade him? Yeah, TJ Rumfield is playing well. I remember having him I had him on the chat as a guest on the channel. Was it last year or the year before? I had Chase Hampton. I had quite a few of these guys on. Demon D. What's good, brother? What is going on? Gallen's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Can you imagine that sports talk? Play-by-play announcer for the Yankees. That would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool. Yeah. Well, we'll see, Brandon. They may not have to. He might be right. The way that they're playing, their needs might be in-house. No. And again, are the guys that are available from other teams at the deadline, do they represent upgrades over what we currently have? It's got to be. They have to be an upgrade. Well, it's too early. It's still too early. Mid-May. Well, late May. So, I don't know. Michael Arias? No, I haven't heard anything. I remember he was a sleeper pickup by Cashman too. I like Dave Sims. He brings a new dynamic there, in place of John Sterling. But I haven't heard anything. I'll look into Duran. I'll look into Michael Arias and see if but nothing of significance. Otherwise, we would have definitely put it out already. But I'll look into it. I remember him. Arias. Yeah. Just like Cruz. Yeah, he's another one of these arms. These big arms. Cashman does. He brings in all the time. Who turn into, pieces of gold here. So, I don't know. No, I don't think Dominguez is going to bat third. I don't think Dominguez is going to bat third. Hmm. We might get both, Larry. Who, I just don't know. Might get one arm and one bat at the deadline, but we'll see. Because we still have Stanton coming back. We still have Jazz coming back. So they might make a bat not necessary. I mean, the bat that they could bring could be a bench piece, right? An improvement on the bench. So, yeah, these lineups that Boone gets regularly criticized for, right? They beat the Rangers today, 1-0, swept the Rangers. So, yeah, I mean, Peralta might be traded. Bieber, Framber Valdez, maybe Gallen, Cease. I don't think it's worth trading for. Eflin, is he bringing anything? First of all, and I don't think the Padres are going to trade Cease or King, especially if they're in contention. Why would they do that? Like Merrill Kelly too. Like, why would teams trade away their pitchers if they're in contention? I think we have to factor that in. But I do think, yeah, Hill is probably our trade deadline pitcher upgrade. If he's healthy, then who else would we add, and who would we move on from? Which is crazy. Yeah, Grammy said the same. Like when Stanton comes back, Volpe needs to move down. Volpe needs to be in the 7, 8, 9 spot right now. Mm-hmm. And like even in-house, the Yankees have some options here to throw on for third base. So, but this is, to me, it's a good problem when we don't really know. Like, and I made it clear that my preference has been Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals, but like, I don't know if the Cardinals will move him. I don't even know if the Rockies will move Ryan McMahon. We've talked about him too. I don't know. And like, but I don't want to block George Lombard. I don't want to block some of these other guys either. So, but either way, gang, I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, and Jesus Rodriguez, we talked about him too recently, and he's got 80+ games at third base. So he's got a big arm. He can catch. He can play infield. He's got versatility. So I can't at this point. I can't see Jazz moving back to second. In all honesty, moving to third. I think he's gonna wind up staying at second. I think. I think they're gonna kind of rotate DJ in and out. Yeah, but sports talk. Yeah, let the Red Sox lose, baby. But let me let you all go. Go celebrate. Let's go celebrate the win. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like button, please, if you don't mind. They play tomorrow night. So we'll obviously be back with the lineup tomorrow. If any other news comes out, you'll get it. But thank you as always for joining me. And you're the best community around, man. The best. Love all you guys. Have a great day, everybody. Go Yankees.